Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Rabbit here, and welcome to Operation Minecraft. Yeah, again, this is just like the last episode, unfortunately, where I have to record the audio after. Yeah, well, I think what happened was actually the USB was unplugged while I was recording this episode, and so that was why I did not record audio. I have it fixed now, obviously, because it was just the USB, and it was just slightly out, so that was kind of a bummer, but obviously I'm recording audio now, so it will hopefully work when I get back to recording another episode. Probably record it tomorrow, because this is episode 6. It'll go up tomorrow, and then I try to stay just one day ahead, just in case like something with college kind of comes up to where I have a bunch of assignments coming up or something. That way I can still get you guys a video. So in other news, we hit 60 subscribers, so that is a huge, I guess it's not really a goal that we had set in mind, but it's huge just to hit those even 10 numbers. I don't know why, but when you're this small, you know, and really I'm always going to value a subscriber, no matter if I have 10 or a lot. But to hit 60 is pretty nice. We picked up 5 subscribers on Monday. That was largely due to posting a lot on the forums. I wasn't spamming. I just was posted on the forums, and then kind of maintained that. Try to reply to you guys as much as possible. I like talking to people rather than just, you know, being one of those people that doesn't ever reply to people. I like getting that interaction. So I enjoy just, you know, and I love feedback, whether it's good or bad. I want to know what I can do better for you guys and what I can do better, you know, personally, like just make it. And there was a creeper there. He tried to give me a hug. What a little bastard. So yeah, I mean, it's all about making them better, or my videos better in general. So anyway, get into the gameplay now, since I am recording after, unfortunately, because I really like doing it during, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. We're gonna make a farm this episode because I am out of food and I don't want to have to go look for animals. I want a more direct source of food, like one that I don't have to worry about necessarily. I don't have to worry about it running out because I can't find the animals or something, which eventually we're gonna make animal farms too. That way I can just kind of kill animals for food. Hope PETA doesn't come after me. But sorry about that, I had to take a drink. Overall, yeah, we're just gonna build a farmhouse, and you know, I've already built it. This is after the fact, so I really like the way it turns out. Actually, I think it turns out nicely. We're getting started with door frame here, and I talked about it in the video. Of course, you guys can't hear that because there is no audio to it. But I talked about how I almost always build a door frame around my doors. I don't really know why. I just enjoy building door frames around the doors. And so I almost always do that. So you're going to see me do that in most cases, unless I'm trying to build a certain style of building or something, which, you know, you guys can always challenge me to build a certain style of building. I'll always try to maintain those challenges, if you will. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of walking around, I guess, planting more trees, getting more wood. But yeah, we're just going to build a pretty, it's pretty, I mean, it looks nice. It's a nice, and this tree is huge, by the way. Or next tree I make, I think, is huge. It's a nice, farmhouse. I'm getting ahead of myself in this episode, which, speaking of this episode, it is quite a long episode too, so you guys kind of get I think it ends up being, looks like 37 minutes and 33 seconds, maybe 34 seconds actually, if I could get you guys the right number there. So there's our door frame. We finished the door frame. One nice little door frame. Anybody? So now what I'm gonna kind of contemplate is if I want to do just a single entrance, or if I wanted to like a single square hallway, or if I wanted to widen it out to 3. And so I start off with this one, and I decided, it's pretty thin. I mean, you have to be a little guy to fit through that. So I go back and I remove, yeah, here I go. I'm like, nope. And I don't know why I removed that one. I really don't remember why I removed that one, but it makes it a pain. That's one of the disadvantages of the rotating blocks, is now it's a pain to put blocks facing up. So you have to get up on wood and then aim my cursor perfectly, which I did not that time, but it worked out anyway, like that, getting around to the side. But you know, it's just a pain now, but it is nice. I mean, there are some things I plan on using sideways logs in some buildings soon, and I actually use them on this farm, just not the building itself. I use it on the farm, which what we're going to focus on first is a wheat farm. That way we have plenty of bread. Bread's probably the easiest thing to make in the game, other than like killing cows and stuff. That's pretty easy. Or fishing. I guess I actually, early on, one of the earliest episodes, I made a fishing rod, and I did not use it whatsoever. So a good thing to do when you're first starting off, especially if you're going to play like a hardcore or something, is make yourself a fishing rod if you can do it. Make the fishing rod, so really just kill 2 spiders, or sometimes one if you're lucky. Make the fishing rod, or sometimes more if you're not lucky, but make the fishing rod, and that way you can fish, because that is like one of the most consistent resources of food. And really, I mean, the fishing rod lasts quite a while. There's no upgrade to it, so they don't make it like any durability loss. It's kind of like a hoe. And it works really well, and it's faster than hunting for animals. It's more consistent than hunting for animals. I mean, you don't have to worry about whether you'll find animals. This is the huge tree I was talking about, by the way. But also, if you can manage to get a flint and stone, which I'm sure saying a lot today, that's kind of odd. I say it sometimes, but not usually this much. It's kind of weird. But see, there I go again. I'm gonna try and stop that. Let me get my composure. Anyway, if you we're gonna try. If you get a flint and stone, then you can cook your fish without a furnace. It's probably easier to get a furnace, but if you manage to come across a piece of iron from a zombie for some reason or something like that, then and a piece of flint from the gravel, which you can just keep placing gravel down if you had to get one piece of gravel and just keep digging it up until you get a piece of flint. You can cook your fish with flint and stone. Just set a block on fire and then throw your fish through it. You just have to be careful because your fish will sometimes get burnt by it. And here I'm just making sure that I got all the logs, because you know what I hate? I hate when trees are just floating there because there's no reason for it. I kind of go for, when I play Minecraft, which Minecraft is an open world, so you do your own thing. By all means, do what you want to do. But I kind of like to go for a realistic stand. I'll put supports in bridges and stuff rather than just making a bunch of floating islands. It's kind of funny because I'm playing, like I chose to play in an area where there's floating islands, but I go for the realistic aspect, if you will, for the most part. I like going realistic. I like going building supports on my bridges or making my houses actually make sense. Putting supports over overhangs, I mean things like that, just to make it realistic, because but I won't ever install one of those mods that cause the thing to fall, because then you're stuck. You can't, it kind of hinders your creativity as well as your realism. So yeah, this is probably one of the most intricate I said no, I was doing so good. This is probably one of the most intricate farmhouses I've ever made. It actually ends up having 4 doors, which there's another I should just do a little counter in the corner just all the time. Every video I'll do a counter until I'm saying 0 per video. Anyway, it has four doors, and you'll see why in a second. Well, not in a second, but here later on in the video. Oh, there's another I don't know why that's really bothering me today. I just really don't want to be saying so I'm really going to try and focus on that, but I also, I want to keep focusing on what I'm actually saying. I want to keep talking. So 4 doors, and you'll see why by the end you'll see why, because you'll know why at the end. But yeah, and I decided that these corners need to be filled just because I was trying to get rid of the square shape, but it didn't look good without the corners filled, so I decided to kind of fill the corners. And really, this probably could have been done with just 3 doors, but I decided to go 4 anyway, and you'll see why as time goes on. And you guys are probably like, we really don't care, we just want to see it. No, I actually, when I'm watching other people's videos, I actually like seeing, sorry, there's a thing popping up my screen that has nothing to do with you guys. it's from my university's little web portal thing. That was not an that was, I forgot what I was saying though, is what I was trying to come back to. This is kind of embarrassing. Probably could have went with 3 doors, that's what I was talking about, I think. But I decided to kind of go a little intricate and kind of separate my wheat farm from the rest, and I actually have been playing the game save a little bit since I recorded this episode, and then figured out I had no sound. I played it a little bit, and now I'm doing this episode again, essentially, so I kind of know into the future a little bit. I made a large area for farming, but I don't know what I'm going to put there, because if you guys know, if you keep up with the Minecraft news, 1.4 is going to have carrots and potatoes. That's going to be a 2 new crops that they're adding, as well as other things you can do with those. So I want to leave some room for future, but at the same time, and here I'm deciding if I want to stay with the sideways block or not. I kind of like it with the sideways block looking at it now, but we're not going to keep it. And you'll see some of the stuff I do with logs later on, but for now I'm just going to kind of leave those there. So there's our door frames. As you know, I framed all the doors and decided it was probably time to get some food. And I'm trying to build up the seeds too, is what you'll see me do here, because I know I'm going to be farming here in a second, so then I need to be able to make a farm, and if I don't have seeds, I can't make a farm. Excuse me. You probably didn't even hear that. But anyway, we did collect some apples though, and you know, I made extra crafting table in here. There's a lot of work to do inside the building, and you'll see that at the end. I did the floor and everything. I just mean like chest wise, I haven't really done anything special. But another cool thing with 1.4, and I might switch to a snapshot here midway just because there's kind of some cool stuff coming out, is item frames. So we're going to be able to put a hoe on a wall rather than having it stuck. And I might just do a mod for now instead of actually going up to the thing, because it's kind of buggy. If 1.3.2 isn't buggy, those are definitely buggy. So I might just do a mod that lets you kind of put like a weapons rack, and then put hoes in here on the walls. But 1.4, the official launch, is going to have item frames, which you can put anything in there that's an item, including weapons and maps. So that's going to be cool. And they have a new map system. I don't know if they implemented that already or if that's coming. I think it's coming. Like, I don't know if it's in 1.3.2. I don't think so. So I think it's coming. Sorry, I think I'm fighting a little bit of a sickness here, so I'm trying to drink a lot of fluids to kind of keep it away. So if I pause, that's probably what I'm doing. But made our doors. It's starting to come together. You guys can see the shape. The shape's already done, but we're just gonna get some more wood here and do the corners. I'm deciding what I'm doing here with pillars and stuff is I'm deciding where I want windows to go, and whether I want like a whole wall filled or if I want a window there or not. So that's why I'm kind of not going just in like a printer pattern, is what I call it, when you just go back and forth filling in everything. So I'm actually deciding where I want windows, and if I want big windows or small windows or any windows period. And so I decided, obviously there's gonna be a window, decided to get rid of that, make that just a solid wall, which I don't really know why I didn't make those windows. I mean, they could have easily been windows, I guess just because I didn't want so many windows, because the mine house has a ton of windows. Well, not really a ton, but it has a lot of windows, so it's a lot of open space, which I did a little bit of work on that too, just the outside, and I think it looks a lot better, and that just involves some fence. Actually, I think I mentioned it in the video, maybe in one of the videos about placing fence. Here I'm deciding whether I want blocks or if I want the panes, and I think I don't remember. I think I decided to go with panes eventually, so I think I go back and break those other blocks. I need to go back into the texture pack and my texture pack generator thing. I don't know if you can go off ones that you've already done, so that'd kind of be unfortunate if I had to redo all my custom selections, because you guys can see I have like a red bar down there at the bottom. That's from the custom Doku Craft customizer, and I went ahead and went red because red's like my favorite color. And I kind of wish I would have gave the blocks of glass a texture instead of just completely clear. So they did have a lot of them, and I almost did. And here's our floating tree. I hate floating trees, but I almost did. So hopefully there's a way where it like saved what I did and I don't have to re-input everything. But if it didn't, that's gonna be, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I decided I wanted a window here too. I don't know why I decided I want a window there, but you know, I like windows, I guess. Just down my drink there. It was just iced tea. Iced tea is brilliant. I'll go British for a little bit, even though I'm not British. And then now I'm gonna do the roof. Decided to do the roof before the floor. I usually do the floor first. I don't know why. It's just kind of personal thing. And also another thing that I forgot to talk about, just kind of a random side thing that I totally don't know where it came from, but it was the last episode. It was either the last episode or the episode before. I fought that spider, and I talked about how there was a glitch skeleton on top. Well, actually what that was a spider jockey, and if you don't know what a spider jockey is, look it up on the wiki, but I'm going to try and remember like some of the stuff I read about it, and I'm going to try and kind of regurgitate that info to you. What a spider jockey is, essentially, is there's a 1% chance of a spider with a skeleton spawning on top of it, spawning in your world at any given time a spider spawns, I assume. That's how I took it anyway. And essentially what happens is the skeleton rides the spider like a horse only rides a spider, and they're extremely dangerous. And the reason they're extremely dangerous, let me explain, is simply because I'm trying to figure out how to do this corner here. The spider can still jump. He does move slightly slower, but he can still jump at you. And then the skeleton can shoot at you. So if you retreat, you're getting shot at by a skeleton. If you attack, you're getting shot at by a skeleton and getting attacked by a spider. So I managed to kill him fine because the skeleton wasn't even looking at me, but the spider couldn't get through the doorway. That's one of the beauties of single doorways, although I usually do double doorways, so it's kind of unique for me to be doing all these single doorways. But, and I don't know what I'm doing here. Getting something, I assume. Oh yeah, some bones so I could stay alive. But the spider jockey has a 1% chance of spawning, so this is gameplay for you. Not only do we have emeralds and diamonds, as another creeper blows up and breaks into the mine. There we go. I can't even think of words today. I don't know what's up with me. And breaks my glass, the stupid creeper. Anyway, not only do we have emeralds and diamonds, we have seen a supercharged creeper, which are pretty rare. Also, I don't know what the percentage is on those ones. I haven't looked it up on the wiki. But not only have we seen a supercharged creeper now, we've also seen a spider jockey, which are 1% chance of spawning. We have seen a jungle temple, which are not in every jungle. They have a better chance of spawning. They're not super rare, but they're fairly rare. They're kind of hard to come by. And then we've also seen the spider jockey. I think I already said that. And we found this extreme hills biome, which the problem with extreme hills biomes, this one's really cool, except all the Swiss cheese underneath with all the different mines going everywhere, right underneath the surface, so you could just fall through at any time. So that's kind of a bummer, but beautiful spawn. I mean, we were right next to this. It literally found at episode 1, like 2 minutes into the episode. I watched that again just to kind of see as I was doing it, which I don't think I commentated that one all that well. At least I didn't start off all that well. I kind of gained speed as I was going. But I think each video I'm getting better, which I'm really excited about. I'm trying just to, put the best content forward. But we got a long way to go on this, as I kind of slur some words together. A long way to go on this. There's a lot of building to do. I've got a brilliant idea. As soon as we hit episode 100, and we will hit episode 100 in 100 days, I'm going to release episode, well, it won't be considered an episode. It'll be just kind of a side little thing. And what it's going to be really cool, and I don't really want to ruin it for anybody, but it's going to be something that I do every 10 episodes. This is all I'm going to give away. It's something I do every 10 episodes. It's not going to be actually included in the episode itself. Well, it might be. It was included in one of the episodes already as one of the starter ones, but I haven't decided if I'm going to do it in the rest of the episodes or not. And then what's going to happen is they're going to be put all together, and it's going to look really cool. And I won't tell you anything else about that, because you're just going to have to wait and see and stick with the series that long and check it out. But I'm really excited for the idea. I think it's going to be really cool looking. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can pull it off. I've got some stuff I got to do to it first, so I'm kind of got to prep it a little bit, but it looks good so far. Not going to tell you anything else. Sorry about that, but just be excited for that. It's a long ways away, I know, and I probably shouldn't have said anything this early, but I do plan on making to episode 100 easily. I mean, that will be no problem. I plan on just keep doing this. And that's going to put us actually probably at, well, what would that be? That would be a little over 3 months. So that's going to basically put me at the end of my college semester. So we're going to be doing some holiday stuff then too. The whole channel it's not going to just be me. Ignite and I are probably going to come out with some holiday stuff. There's going to be a ton of new content because Borderlands 2 comes out. If you're an Xbox player, the newest Call of Duty is coming out soon. Ignite's going to hit that one hard. I'm going to be doing some Call of Duty stuff. As you guys know, I do more of the Minecraft stuff than he does, and he does more of the Call of Duty stuff than I do. But we're going to be doing some Borderlands stuff. We're going to be doing some Minecraft stuff. This episode, since normally when I'm building, I'm kind of quiet, so I don't really talk as much. And since I'm doing this after the fact, I can just kind of keep rambling on. So you guys get to just listen to an update now instead of just about what I'm building. And I'm just doing the roof, and I've already explained roofs before. They're fairly straightforward when you build them like this. And like I said, I want smooth, not too pointy roofs. That way I can kind of make them all look the same, kind of stay uniform. And I really like this. It's coming up later, and I really like something I do to this farmhouse. It's something I've never done before to a farmhouse, and I'll explain it once it comes up. It's going to be in a little while because I got to do the floor first also. And I don't know if I do it before I do the farm or after. We're going to see, watching it with you guys. This is the first time I actually am watching it. I played it, obviously, but first time I'm watching it. But anyway, lots of new content coming out. We're going to keep hitting the ground hard in terms of just making sure that we put out the best content we possibly can. We want to see our subscribers grow because that shows us that people like what we're doing, but we're going to keep doing it regardless if we do or not. If you have any feedback, we love to hear it. We've been hearing lots of feedback. That's really getting us excited. We love to get comments about things we're doing wrong, if we're breaking rules, and like the Settlers Challenge on accident. We did a couple of those. So, I mean, we just love to get feedback. So any feedback that you guys have, whether it be for me, whether it be for Ignite, whether it be for the channel, you know, anything like that, we're always willing to hear it. We always love getting the comments. Like I said, we're getting a lot recently, which is great. We love them because that actually gets us some feedback going. We actually know if we're doing good or not. We actually know, you know, what we need to improve on, what we're doing well, what people actually like. We like giving you guys stuff that you like, rather than just kind of being like, well, this series is cool to us. We don't really know if it's cool to the rest of the people, so we're just gonna keep doing it until somebody tells us not to, and then we'll probably still do it then. So, I mean, unfortunately, episode 1 got a dislike, so I was kind of bummed about that. I wish that person would have kind of just let me know why they disliked it, but you know, it could have easily been just somebody on the forum that didn't like the fact that I made a post in the Let's Play forum about a Let's Play. But you know, you never know, and I'm not going to let it bother me too much. People seem to be enjoying this. I've gotten some pretty good feedback, and you know, like I said, I love getting feedback in general, whether it's constructive criticism or not. The only feedback that's kind of a bummer to get is when it's just completely negative, but luckily, you know, none of that's really come by. I expect some of it because it is the internet, but really, like I said, there hasn't been any that's come by so far. It's been mostly positive, or it's been helpful criticism, which I'm hoping to help kind of improve on. I know one person talked about how we kind of needed a little more emphasis in a couple of our videos, so we're gonna try. Like I said, we're gonna try and actually put those into effect. We're trying to absorb all the information we can from you guys, trying to make sure that we can, you know, just get better, and that's what we're trying to do. And so, you guys, the subscribers, you know, we owe it to you guys to make sure we get better. You guys find us interesting, so we want to make sure we stay really interesting for you guys, and you know, make sure we have lots of fresh content. Minecraft's not going to go away, even with all the new stuff coming in November and December and all that stuff. That Minecraft, you know, it's one of those games that you just play no matter what. I mean, you always come back to it, and that's definitely what's happened to me many times. So it's not going anywhere. This series, I'm really happy with it. This time it's not hardcore, so I can't die and end the series. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going to keep pushing hard. I'm hoping to keep up with this one day a thing, one video a day format I'm going on with. I can't guarantee anything as midterms and finals come up, but I'm going to try my best to make sure, like, as I'm getting closer to those times, that I'm going to make sure I have a stock up of videos ready. That way I can kind of keep them uploading just as midterms and finals come up. And the good thing about those is they're only like a week long, maybe 2 weeks spent on them studying, but during those times I can make sure to get some videos out. I just can't guarantee every day. But other than that, for the most part, I'm going to be guaranteeing every other day, or not every other day, every day. Our Settlers Challenge, we're going to keep trying to do every day. If you guys have been following that one, I think that one's a good series. Ignite and I are really happy with that. We're enjoying the challenge. It's kind of a really cool challenge. Check it out on the forum if you haven't already. Throw a post there too. If you do check it out, just say, oh, hey, look, we came and checked it out. Something. It'll just bump it to the top of the page. If you want to, go find the Let's Play. It's in the forums also. It's under Operation Minecraft and the Let's Play. Should be on like page 1 or 2, maybe 3 if I haven't been around for a little while. Go drop a comment there being like, oh yeah, we saw your video, it's great, or oh yeah, you suck. Preferably not the second one, but hopefully, you know, just drop a comment. It just helps me bump it, because I hate bumping my own stuff. I hate, you know, being that one that's just like all my posts for like the last page. That's just shows me that they're desperate, and I hate trying to be desperate. I like, you know, we've always been the type of channel that does not spam whatsoever. I've never had Ignite spam. I've never spammed on any videos. We are strictly no spam. We want, you know, we'd rather people just find us than be known as like a channel that spams. And so we've never spammed on somebody's videos. We never spammed forums. I've posted one topic about this series, and then I make sure to like maintain this topic a little bit, but I don't post ridiculous amounts, like just to keep it at the top of the page. I post every once in a while. I hate bumping my own stuff, like I said. So we're trying to be that channel that just does not spam whatsoever. And so, you know, so far it's working for us. We're growing, and we're happy with it. So we're trying to just make sure we don't spam. Here so I do this before the farm, but here I'm trying to get a circle. Is what I was looking at. I was trying to decide how wide of a circle I wanted, and now I'm going to build that circle, and you'll see what that circle is in a minute. I'm not going to tell you yet, but you're going to, maybe, you might see. It's just a circle for now, obviously, and I got to replace all this sand with dirt. And so I've done a lot of terraforming off the camera. Just recently I did a lot of terraforming. Well, it feels like a lot. I didn't really do all that much, but I removed a lot of the sand and replaced it with dirt, essentially, just to make it a little easier on me. because I don't like having a bunch of sand all around when I'm building a solid building. Like I said, it's kind of going with the realistic thing. You wouldn't really build a building of this size on the sand. You would make sure you have a proper foundation and everything. So that's kind of the realistic thing here. And I totally shouldn't have built this high because I have to jump off, but it works out this time, and there's a random leaf sitting there still. But we're building a circle over there. It's out of cobble. Some of you may already be able to guess what it is. Some of you may not, but you'll see in a little bit. And then as far as the minecarts go, I remember me talking about how I was going to make sure I did a lot of stuff with minecarts. Well, that tunnel that leads all the way down to bedrock, unfortunately, is not made for minecarts yet. And the reason for that is you can't turn while also going down on a minecart. So I'm going to rework some of that. Probably just run a new track rather than reworking it. I'm also trying to decide how tall I want this here. And I think I end up really well with the height, and I think I end up really well with the shape too. It's kind of square initially, and I'm kind of worried about it. I think I should have probably left it that height, but I removed one. I think I removed one from the height, so it doesn't look terrible. And I filled in this lake here too. That's another thing I've already done. You're gonna see that next episode. I'll point it out at next episode to show you what it looks like now. And that just gives us a little more space to walk without falling into the thing. And it was kind of messed up. You can see it now on the bottom right corner. Not anymore, but it was kind of messed up. And so to fix that, that was a creeper once upon a time. I think episode 1 had that. Maybe episode 2. Creeper blew up as I was over there. Or maybe that was off camera. I don't even know. But creeper blew up. It actually exposed some iron, so that was nice, but made a mess of the water, which I was tempted to keep the little lake that was down there and kind of make a little waterfall into it, just because it's kind of unique to get one that's one lower. And here I realize if I keep jumping off, I'm gonna die, so I just start lower. But it was kind of cool to have water that was one space lower than the rest of the water. So I kind of was tempted to leave it because of that, but you know, I just decided, it's just water. I can make an infinite water source if I really wanted to, so I might as well just, you know, do the water. So I removed one more just because I was lazy and didn't want to go get more cobblestone, apparently. That was kind of a mistake. I should have left it on this one it was, I think, in my opinion. If you haven't decided by now, it definitely looks like a tower. It's not a tower. So if you're still kind of up in the air, think about it. It's next to a farmhouse. And if you ever go look at a farmhouse, occasionally, they don't always have this. It's more of the industrial stuff now has this, but occasionally they will have what's called a granary. And the granary holds grain. So in this case, it's going to hold wheat for us. I'm just going to put some chests in the bottom. I just wanted to make kind of a cool, I don't know, I want to make a little structure for it instead of just having it all here. And there's plenty of chests that I end up making for the bottom. It holds like, I want to say 2 double chests and 3 single chests on the bottom. So that's tons of wheat if I ever fill that all the way up. Don't know if I'll ever fill that all the way up. I probably will. I would think I would. Over time, as long as I always farm the wheat once it's done. But yeah, that's what this is a granary. There's no other way to store grain in Minecraft other than in chests, so we kind of have to use our imagination a little bit. But you know, it is Minecraft, right? So you do have to use imagination in Minecraft anyway. But we're gonna jump up to the top here and put a roof on it. Is all that all I'm doing now. And I think this makes it look more circular by having a roof, and I'm actually checking the circle template. If you're wondering what circle template I use, I just simply type into Google Minecraft circle template, and it comes up with ones that go all the way up to like 50 in diameter. And I'm sure you could go more, find one that's even bigger if you wanted, but I've never needed it bigger than 50. I used 42 on a server I was playing, and you guys will see some from that server coming up too. It's pretty cool. It's a bunch of Let's Players that they invited me to it. They're like, hey, come build stuff. And so they gave me my own area. We have another hub that kind of separates everything. So it's a pretty cool idea. And so far all I've built on there is a bridge. Granted, it's a huge bridge. All I've built so far is a bridge. My throat's getting kind of scratchy. I'm trying to keep my composure here. I could go get water, but I just want to keep recording. It's better when you kind of keep going. But I built a big bridge, and it's a suspension bridge, so that's when I use the 44 circle template, something along those lines. I don't know, but that's the biggest I've used so far is a 44, maybe 42. I think it went up to 46. I don't know. I'd have to go check, but we're gonna use this room down here for something. I haven't decided what yet. It's gonna be kind of a secret room though, because it's kind of a cool little location, and then we gotta clear it, like make it safe. And that's the other thing, is there's big plans for making this huge thing safe, and it's probably gonna be involving a lot of cobble, maybe smooth stone if I feel like smelting it all. We'll see as time goes on here. But I realized I needed some food, so we just go over here. We're also making seeds in the process, so it's a good waste of bone meal, if you will. As it's kind of funny that I just said waste of bone meal, but we're gonna replant our seeds and get ourselves some bread. And I actually had those apples in there. I didn't even realize I had those apples until I was going to put them in a chest. So I could have ate those, but I'm glad I saved them because I'd like to make them into golden apples eventually. Just haven't got around to it. Another update too, I was down at the bottom of the mine, all the way at the bottom at the bedrock because I wanted to get some gravel, and because I use it in the farm. And essentially I was digging through this big gravel pit. It was awesome. There was tons of gravel. I'm like, sweet, getting tons of gravel. I got like 2 stacks of gravel, and lo and behold, it uncovered diamonds, and it uncovered a vein of 5 of them. So now we have 8 diamonds on the server. I figured I'd fill you guys in. It was going to be next episode, but then I realized there's no audio on this one. Yep, so we have 8 diamonds now, so we're going to be able to make a pick easily, or I can make some armor. We're definitely going to make an enchanting table, because I keep managing to get to like level 23 and then dying, so we're going to actually put those levels to use. I'd like to get to 24 before I enchant anything, but I'd really like, I think the best thing for us right now would either be a fortune pick or a silk touch pick. I think a silk touch pick would be more beneficial than a fortune pick, although a fortune pick would be really nice for diamonds, because then, you know, a fortune 3 pick increases the amount. You get like 3 or 4 diamonds from each vein instead of just 1, so that's pretty sweet. But a silk touch one, we could just save our diamonds in the ore form until we get a fortune one. And the nice thing about those is you can re-pick up ender chests with them, and so that was pretty skilled in my opinion to be able to get the dirt. But you can re-pick up ender chests, and I want to build some ender chests, which involves some endermen, which I've only run into 1, unfortunately, and I did not get a chance to go attack him before he teleported. But I want to build some ender chests. They're great for keeping your stuff safe. I've had a little bit of experience with them on the server so far, and you know, they're great that you just be anywhere, plop down a chest, put in some items, and then pick back up the chest, and that's the cool thing. But you need a silk touch to pick it back up, otherwise you lose your I think it's a pearl that goes into it, or actually it's an eye of ender, so otherwise you lose your eye of ender, and those are a pain to get. We're gonna have to go to the nether for those, and nether on hard is always fun, so that's gonna be coming up soon, which means we can make a diamond pick now. We can actually go get the obsidian that's at the bottom. I have run into some obsidian, and here I ended up going, I didn't even realize I went sideways with the logs here, but then I just went cobble. I believe I go cobble on top. Maybe I go wood. I guess I go wood. I thought I went cobble. But yeah, just make a little hallway, you know. Nothing too fancy. I don't know how that ended up out there, and I should have actually just left the block for now, but you know, I went and got it. I'm a stickler for blocks. I love getting all my blocks. I hate leaving them. I hate just leaving a block out and to let it despawn. I'd rather just pick it up and go throw it in a chest, and so I rarely actually leave any blocks really in general. So that's just a little quirk, if you will, and I don't know why I decided to go up with that. Kind of unique. Yeah, I should be going underneath. Right there, yeah. I'm like talking to myself play. That's where I should have went in the first place, but I go and fixed it, I think, outside. Or at least I just add 2, apparently. I could have just put a full block there. And I ran out of planks because of that. So I could have been more efficient there, but you know, it's okay. But as you can tell, the farmhouse is almost done. It's kind of weird. I've never really built and then talked about it afterwards. So it's kind of weird to me, but you know, it works out, and I'm like, oh, I need 1 more. So I really like the way it turned out. Like I said, I like the windowsills, or the window covering, I guess. And you, zombie, can go die. Die, zombie. Some rotten flesh, some experience. I really just wanted the experience. It's kind of hard to believe that hard is this easy. And obviously there's going to be times where it's really hard, since it's hard. And if I starve, I realized you die when you are playing hard. I think I talked about that last episode. But that's where some of our experience went, unfortunately. And I always end up being like level 5 after I die. I don't know if that's just like if you're over level 5, they only give you maximum 5. But, you know, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. And I put those torches the wrong height. And I don't like that height, so I lower them again. I'm OCD about this type of stuff. I'm really a perfectionist. I really hate when things don't look good, and I really tried to branch out with new blocks to try and get some cool ideas going on. And I don't like that door placement either. It needs to go right at the edge of the granary, so I think I grabbed the door. Yeah, so I go ahead and fix that, and then put some chests in there, and I think it works perfect for granary. I mean, it's a nice way to store some grain. It's fairly accessible. Here I'm talking about, I remember this, here I'm talking about how I didn't frame that other door after talking about always framing my doors, but that's because I didn't expect the door to be there. And it really doesn't need it, since it's at the end of the hall. I framed the hall, essentially, instead of the door. Works out to be the same. And, you know, in my mind anyway, and that's all that really matters because I'm building this one, but, you know, it is what it is. And see, this is where I kind of hate the fact that it's kind of square inside. I wish I could have went a little bit bigger, but I didn't really have the space. It wasn't going to look proportionate to the rest of the building if I went any bigger than I did, so I just decided to leave it square in there. Go make some chests out of all of our jungle wood, which we have massive amounts of jungle wood. Actually, I think it's all gone now, but we had lots of massive amounts of jungle wood. Need to go collect more before our next episode. I try to get materials before the episodes, or at least some of the materials. That way you guys are just sitting there watching me cut down a tree. And we've already done that a couple times, so I don't think, I mean, unless you guys want me to start taping when I'm getting materials too, I can definitely do that, and I can definitely talk over it, of course, and kind of try and stay interesting. But I figure you guys want to see either like building or maybe cave splunking, or, you know, something that's not super boring as just cutting down a tree, because if you wanted to cut down a tree, you could go cut down a tree. And if you could attack skeleton, you would not be as pro as me. Oh, just kidding. That was hardly pro. But, you know, it's, if you want me to, I definitely can, or if I can just keep doing it kind of the way I am, where I kind of have materials magically appear, and that's just because I go collect them. This is a no cheats, there's no mods on this, so everything in the server is completely legit. I don't place anything down or anything like that. Sorry about that, hopefully that wasn't too bad. I don't place anything down. You know, everything's completely legit, all found in this. There's not really a reason to cheat. I don't see why there would be. So but if, like I said, if you want me to show you finding materials and everything, then by all means I'll definitely record those for you. And I'll talk over them, of course, and everything will be just standard, or I can just kind of keep appearing with materials out as blue. And that's just because I go collect them before an episode, especially if I know I'm going to build a building. I try to get a lot of the materials out of the way. That way you guys aren't just sitting there for the first 15 minutes of the episode watching me get materials to build the last 20 minutes of the episode. I'd rather just have it built for you, rather than, you know, making you guys watch it, like I said, as I'm repeating myself. And then I need to go back and add those pressure plates on the outside. Actually, I didn't get around to it now that it's all fenced off. Like I said, in the next episode, I'm going to point out the new stuff I added to the farm, because I don't think I got to it on this one. Just based on the amount of time left, I only have like 2 minutes left, so I must be talking about it. And we're just going to light it up a little bit. I might sneeze here shortly, so don't get too worried about that. It wasn't too loud last time, luckily, because I've turned away from the mic, and the mic's pretty good. For those of you wondering, I am using an AT2020. It's brilliant. It's a great mic. I got it for $110 on Amazon. The price actually just went up for some reason, but I expect it to drop again. If you're looking to get into this, that's one I'd recommend. Or I've heard good things about the Snowball one, the blue microphone Snowball one. I've heard good things about that one too. I personally didn't like the look of it and didn't really want that one, but it is cheaper, so you could definitely. And here I'm trying to get him to fight, and then I tried twice. Look, try twice. And he misses twice. What is this? He never misses me twice. He always hits me on the second time. And unfortunately, our sword actually ended up going rustling away, if you will, in our hands, turned to dust. But it's daytime anyway, and we finished the farmhouse. I don't remember what I was talking about at this time, but we're at the end now, so peace out.